How old were you when you realized you were the son of a president?
I don't think anyone's ever asked me that before.
FX's Love Story. John F. Kennedy Jr. and Carolyn Bessette.
I didn't think I could love someone like this until you.
From executive producer Ryan Murphy.
It's not a question of if I want to spend the rest of my life with you. It's if I'm cut out to be Mrs. JFK Jr.
FX's Love Story. John F. Kennedy Jr. and Carolyn Bessette. Watch now on FX, Hulu, and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
First of all, Ameriprise doesn't have a broker. They don't have brokers.
Right, so it's just some rogue broker who ripped you off.
This is the plaintiff, Renette Hudson. She says she's known the plaintiff for 25 years, and since he works at a car dealership, she asked him to help her find a good and inexpensive car insurance company. She gave the defendant money. He told her he'd take care of everything, and then, 2 months later, the DMV demanded she turn in her plates for failing to have insurance on a motor vehicle. She most definitely got scammed by the defendant and is now suing him for the $1,346 she's owed. This is the defendant, Franklin Lewis. He says the only thing he did for the plaintiff was refer her to an insurance broker and charged her a fee. He didn't take any money from her. What she discussed with the broker's her business, and he's totally out of it. He's accused of wrecking a woman's day.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated, come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Renette Hudson?
Yes.
You are suing Franklin Lewis, your former friend, for $1,346 that you were out as a result of a deal you had with him to get you insurance that didn't exactly work out that way. What happened?
I purchased a car in September, and I had insurance at that time. When I had my insurance, the insurance was really too high.
Right.
I'm a single mom, I couldn't afford it. So I called Frankie. I've been knowing Frankie for 25 years. He's known in the community of helping people out. He's I thought he was a good guy. I called Frankie begging, like, Frankie, I know you're a car dealer, you know a lot of people. Can you please help me out, get insurance? So he said, okay, I'll help you out. He looked around, he called back. He said, I have a friend that is a broker that can help you out. It's going to be $650.
This is how long after you bought the car?
A month. Because I did the car insurance.
Okay, so what you did was you bought insurance in order to be able to register the car.
Right.
And then that's it. You didn't pay any more insurance. You let that one lapse.
Right, because I had new insurance.
Okay.
What I thought I did.
Okay. So you bought the car when?
I bought the car 9/20/05, September 5th.
Okay. You're reaching out to him and getting new insurance from him when?
The next month, the 23rd.
Right.
Right.
So there was 1 month
So
there
there
that
was
was
like, yeah,
kind of
right,
lapsed
right.
without. Okay. So you reach out to him, and by the time you swing it, it's October 23rd.
Right.
What's he do?
He says, I have a friend who can give you car insurance for really cheap. You have to give me $650.
You have to give him $650.
I have to give Frankie $650. He will give me, in return, insurance. I've never met this guy that...
Did you know the guy's name?
No.
Did he ever tell you the
No.
name? Okay. So do you give the $650 to Frankie?
So I met Frankie. We went to a bank. I gave Frankie $650. Frankie gave me an insurance card.
Okay,
with the
this is
policy
October
number.
23rd.
Yes.
All right, and then lo and behold, you get a letter from DMV at the end of November saying, what's up?
Yeah, turn in your plates.
Turn in your plates. You've been 73 days without insurance.
Yes.
Okay. Of which 20-something were your own fault.
Right.
Okay. All right, so what do you do?
So I called Frankie, like, Frankie, what's going on? He was like, call the insurance company. That's what first thing Frankie said. I'm going to call my friend. You call the insurance company. I said, okay.
So you
perfect.
call the insurance company. What did they tell you?
They said, Miss Hudson, they said, well, you don't have insurance with us. You started the paperwork, but you don't have insurance with us. I said, well.
Meaning that the broker never paid the money to Ameriprise.
First of all, Ameriprise doesn't have a broker. They don't have brokers.
Right. So it's just some rogue broker who ripped you off. Right. What's going on, Frankie? I thought you were the guy who helps people.
Okay, she called me several times and asked me for help. I told her I got somebody that could help her.
How did you know this guy?
From another acquaintance.
Had you ever used him?
Yeah, I used him like 2-3 times.
Did he come through in the other times?
Every time.
What happened this time?
Well, she called me. All right, I told her the guy charged $650.
Did you ever give her the guy's name and number?
I gave her the guy's name, but I
What
didn't
did you
give
say
her the
to
number.
her?
I said, well, I got a friend named Mike.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay, so all her dealings were through you.
Right.
She gave you the $650.
I met up with the guy.
You met up with the guy on your own, not her.
No, me and her.
Did you
But
meet the
she
guy?
didn't
Wait a
meet
minute,
the
hold
guy.
on. Did you meet the guy?
I've never met this guy.
Did she meet the guy?
She didn't meet the guy.
Oh, well then how did you...
He was in another car. Right,
this is so suspect already. Like, this doesn't strike you as a bad idea? Like, it's like a drug deal as opposed to an insurance purchase.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Is it too risky to do business with friends?
Yes, it is.
Why?
Because by the end of the business deal, they're not your friend anymore.
But you do know them better, so it gives you a better idea of who you're working with.
I think it depends on how well you choose your friends. That's true. Like, if you have good friends, it might turn out okay.
Okay, now here's my other question. Do you really know a friend until you do business with him?
I would say no. I had it go bad one time. I know exactly what the pitfalls are.
Is that person your friend still?
No.
Exactly. Going inside the courtroom.
So he's in another car. She doesn't meet him. She's not allowed to meet him.
Right.
She's got to work through you.
I didn't say she wasn't allowed to meet him.
She's got to work. You sit right here. I'm going to go over there and do my thing with my man, Mike. And so you go over there, and then you both look around like this, and then you go, and then what happens?
So I get the insurance card and the binder for her. She gives me the money. I give it to him. Okay. She calls me a while after and said she never got nothing in the mail. I said, well, I'm going to try to contact him.
So did you? What'd he say?
He told me, give it a minute. They just did the policy.
Did you ever talk to your guy at any point in time in order to tell him, hey, you never gave that money, what's up, give me the money?
Never spoke to him.
Lost contact with the crook.
Yeah, never spoke to him.
Right, okay. So what do we have here? Now, when we realize that what happened is something that happens constantly, okay? Which is someone who holds himself out as a broker, just takes all your money and doesn't hand it to the insurance company, so you don't really have insurance. You are not the first time this happened. Okay, once we realize that, and you have to know that if you're a car dealer, so once we know that this is what happened, what is it, Frankie, that you tell Ms. Hudson? You're on your own?
No, never.
No. You say, babe, I'll get you the money. Until what? She trashed you on Facebook or something? When did you stop referring to her as babe?
What happened to that was I referred her to somebody else, and then she got insurance.
Okay, that is not our problem. Our problem is what happened with the $650 in this case. And maybe you were going to make some money out of it, maybe you weren't, I don't know. But it doesn't really matter. That's not the important thing. The important thing is, who's she doing business with? Is she doing business with you, or is she doing business with the other guy? And if she doesn't even meet the other guy, she doesn't talk to the other guy, you're the one doing everything, and it's your guy who you're doing it. Who's supposed to eat it then? It's like you're a general contractor and a subcontractor did something bad, and then you say, oh, no, take it up with the subcontractor, I'm out. Really? You're out?
I was trying to do her a favor.
Oh, really? I think you were going to make some money, too.
Nah, trust me, I didn't.
If
I did, trust me, I would be liable for it. And I told her.
So you go to DMV, and now what do they say?
So I would go to DMV, and I said, this is what happened. And they said, okay, that's nice. Give us your plates. I was like, okay.
Give us your plates and?
Right. So then I went back to Frankie, and Frankie refers me to a new broker who is a real person that I met.
Right.
That said, okay, we'll give you insurance. You have to pay $475. I said, okay, Frankie, you owe me $650, so I know you have this. I know you're going to pay it. Long story short, I wind up paying $475 for new insurance, go back up to DMV and say, hey, I have new insurance. They said, that's nice. You still owe us $695.
For the penalties of driving without insurance.
So now I have to pay the car note, which I had to do anyway, and now I have to pay insurance. I have new insurance.
Right, but that for something that you're paying for insurance, you can't claim against him because that's for new insurance that you had to get. So really, here's what we got. You got DMV telling you, you owe us the penalty. And the penalty was 6-something. And you ended up paying that, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, in fairness of the penalty, many of those days were just on you before you hooked up with Frankie.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, right?
I see what you're saying.
Month of October.
Until I met Frankie, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Or until you got your business resolved. So, just for the record, I don't believe he was trying to nail you.
No.
I mean, I think that it just turned out that like his subcontractor did it to him. The issue is, though, she doesn't eat it. You eat it when that happens. So I find in your favor in the amount of the $650 for the deal, plus 49 of the 73 days that you were flying solo there. So I find in your favor in the amount of $467.18 of the penalty, plus the $650 of the deal, for a total of $1,117.18. Verdict for the plaintiff.
Let's see what the defendant has to say about this. Come on in here. What's your feeling about how you look? How you look in this whole deal? Where did this whole thing go wrong?
Well, when she realized that she didn't have insurance, and then, you know, I placed her with somebody else that can give her insurance.
I know. I heard the case.
My initial feeling on it was to help her out. But, I mean, you know, I learned a valuable lesson.
Which was what again?
Never do nothing for free.
For free. Okay. All right, you just said right down there. We're gonna write. You want to write that down? Never do anything for free. That's the lesson.
Yes.
What lesson did you learn out of this?
To listen to my sister, because she told me from the beginning.
I told her in the beginning that it did not sound good to me. And then I spoke with Frankie personally myself, and he tried to offer me a deal similar. And I said to her, no, it doesn't sound good.
Sisters.
But, hey.
And so when she said that to you, what did you say?
I know Frankie for 25 years. He's a good dude.
You knew me all your life.
I know.
I changed your diapers.
All right, if it's between her and Frankie, who do you choose?
Oh, my sister.
Harvey?
Okay, you know, when you're dealing with something as important as, say, car insurance, car payments, or health insurance, it is so important to stay on top of it and make sure that you're up to date. And if a check doesn't clear for it, you got to follow up, find out what's up. Now, we'll do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Instagram teen accounts have automatic protections for what teens see and who can contact them, plus time management tools. And Instagram will continue adding built-in safety features to help create age-appropriate experiences. Learn more about teen accounts and Instagram's ongoing work to protect teens online at instagram.com/teenaccounts.
They always tell you there's a catch, a compromise, an asterisk. Terms apply. See store for details. May be less than advertised. May vary by mood. Probably. Sprite Zero Sugar? It's different. It's the lemon lime flavored refreshment you want with zero sugar. So, no fast voice? No caveats. Just refreshment. This is Sprite Zero Sugar. Obey your thirst.
These are the plaintiffs, Daryl and Melvina Godfrey. Daryl says he hired the defendant to photograph and videotape his daughter's Sweet 16 party, and the guy has no business calling himself a professional. 90% of the pictures were dark or blurry. He tried to reach the defendant, but the guy's avoiding him, and he's sick and tired of getting the runaround. Since he's not the type to go away quietly, he's suing for the return of $1,000. This is the defendant, Michael. He says he took 200 pictures of his daughter's Sweet 16 party, gave him a CD with all the images, gave him the negatives, and told him the DVD would take about 14 days to edit. The guy flew into a fit of rage for some reason and started acting like a real jerk. Bottom line, he has the DVD with him today in court, delivered everything he promised, and can't wait for the judge to look at the pictures because they're all top-notch. He's accused of being a party pooper.
All parties, please raise your ready.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff hired the defendant to photograph his daughter's Sweet 16 and says the video and the photos sucked. But the defendant says he shot 200 photos of the party and videoed like crazy. The defendant says the plaintiff then started acting like a jerk. It's the case of Party in the USA, small claims court.
Okay. Daryl Godfrey and Melvina Godfrey, you are suing Michael, you've asked us not to mention your last name or your company's last name, for $1,000, money that you paid him to be your videographer and photographer for the Sweet 16s. Is that your Sweet 16?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Plus $100 for harassment and $300 for emotional distress. Okay, Dad, Daryl, tell me what happened.
My daughter's Sweet 16. At the beginning of the year, we told her we'd give her a nice Sweet 16 party if she keep up with her grades and do well in school. In other words, earn it. So she was doing very well. She did very well, and she earned it. She even got a chance to pick out her hall, pick out everything.
Good for you.
Yeah. Everything was set. We needed a photographer and we needed a videographer. She had some dance routine that her and her friends had practiced so they can do it on the Sweet 16. It's part of the party.
Okay.
So I had to, my wife, she said that let me handle picking out the photographer and everything like that.
So you hired the defendant, and you found his name. She found his name how?
Into Craigslist.
All right. So you talk to him, you hire him, and do you have a written contract with him?
Yes, I do.
May I see it?
Along with the contract, he gave me his driver's license. It's what's on the back of there, and I made him sign.
He gave you his driver's license. How come? Because you want to make sure you could find him later, I guess, if anything went wrong. You want to make sure he was who he says he is. What does this mean? The services are provided as is, meaning not edited, or meaning if it's crappy tough for you? What is it you mean? Because if you mean you're not editing, I understand what you mean. That he's getting raw footage and raw photos.
He got 200 raw photos from his daughter's Sweet 16. That's what we provide on a disc. And it's up to him to get it edited, printed out.
What about
framed.
the video?
The video we edit. But the package that he got was the 200 pictures on a DVD that we gifted him.
Where is the package that he got? I don't see it. Normally in the contract, I see what the package is. Where's the package?
I mean, it's not inside the contract.
Okay, the contract is supposed to be an embodiment of the agreement between the parties. Mm-hmm. So your contract needs to be rewritten because you're supposed to have in here what it is that they picked. So you don't even write what it is the person's getting for the $600?
No, just video and photography services.
Yeah. So he takes the pictures and he does the videography. That night at the Sweet 16s, was there a hint that something was wrong or no?
He had told me it was supposed to be 3 people, which he wrote down on the back of the contract that was supposed to be there. It was a
Pete Video, John Photographer.
He said the person with the video is going to be coming with an extra person.
Okay, but all that is written on the back of the sheet, none of that is on the contract part. What's written on the back is Pete Video, John Photographer. You're saying that verbally he told you that there would be 3 people, not 2?
That's correct.
Okay, how many people were there that day?
It was only 2 people.
And that's what the notes in the back say, 2 people.
No, it was only Peter was supposedly that showed up with his girlfriend or somebody, and John did not show up, and he said that, oh, she's a professional photographer.
So you're saying Pete showed up and did what? Videoed or photographed?
She supposedly did the video.
Okay, and then he had his girlfriend do the photography?
That's correct.
What's that about?
No. Pete is the video, it's his company, and Pete has video and photography, and I go through that for my parties. I have an entertainment company.
So you subbed this to Pete, and
Correct.
Why did you write John Photographer for the guy on the back of the contract if John wasn't going to do it?
John's the one that usually comes with Pete, but I guess Pete had someone else come that night, but all Pete's.
Well, who was the someone that he had? If you subbed it to somebody and the person does a
it was a photographer.
What's her name?
Joanne.
All she does is photography? Do you have anything from her here today? Is she here today?
No.
Okay, let me see the photographs, because when the photographs come, you are very unhappy.
Very unhappy. After the party, the day after, I called Mike, and I said, Mike, the photographer that you sent me was not professional.
Why? What was she doing?
She was pretty much taking pictures way over. Nobody knows when she can be taking a picture. You're supposed to say, okay, you ready, pose for the picture.
Well, it depends on what she wanted. Did she want candids, or did she want posed, or what did she want?
Yeah, we were doing a pose for a family shot. Nobody knows this was a family shot. She sit there, and she didn't have a professional photographer, which had the regular lights on it, to take pictures.
Right, she didn't have the big old flash, and she didn't have a long lens, and that's what you expected.
Yes. So
Is it true that he complained to you the next day about the photographer?
Yes, he called me up and says that my guest said that she was not professional. I'm like, Dad, well, I saw the pictures. I don't think that there's anything wrong with the pictures.
Okay, so
And
let's see the
First of all,
pictures.
Your
I'll
Honor,
decide if there's something wrong with them. Let me see. Let me see the pictures, please.
I have some pictures on this DVD.
So what I want is a DVD in
I
the
have a
computer.
DVD,
Okay. There we go. Okay, they're just taking pictures of while the hall looks so pretty. And you guys fooling around, practicing. You're not fooling around. I think you're rehearsing. How many pictures are total?
It's supposed to be 199 total.
Oh, you're killing me. I'm watching you dancing with her. Oh, you must have been so happy. This aside, right? You know, we'll talk about this in a second, but it must have been such a joyous night. Right?
Right.
So. What song did you dance with your father?
Cinderella.
There are posed pictures with the family.
I'm sorry?
There are posed pictures with the families.
Right.
I know what you're saying, that I believe I could take just as good, if not better, pictures. I think that there's not capturing moments. It's all kind of like they don't really care what's in the background of the picture. You know, and perhaps this person was thinking that, hey, that's what you bought unedited. Some of them are out of focus, I know that. But, you know, and let me just suggest to you that even when you give a customer raw footage, you delete the photos that are utter garbage.
I gave him a folder of all the good pictures, which I have here, and then I gave him
Oh,
a
so
folder.
you do delete them, but you
Correct.
give the negatives.
I filmed that on...
And for example, let me give you an example. Like, here's a picture of her reading her comments and her eyes are closed. There should be another one, 2 or 3 right after that, so that you catch her with odds with her eyes open. And the photographer should look at their view screen and see that her eyes were closed, and there is no picture of her reading after that. You know, it's not free work, which is what he suggested, that you should give him all his money back, but I'm just telling you.
There's 190 pictures there. I just want to make sure that
but
it's not
that's
in
it.
the
I just saw all the pictures of their dance, their choreographed dance. Now, I assume there's a video.
Yes.
Have you seen the video?
No.
Wait, when was the video going to be ready?
I have it ready now. I mean, he's calling me. You know, a normal edit takes about a month. He's calling me, harassing me. I'm going to the authorities. I'm having you arrested. This, that, the other thing.
But
come on.
It is kind
I
of
need
quick.
time.
Can I just ask you a question? I don't know whether you said you were harassing it. I don't know if you were harassing him or not. I'm just asking you a question. How did the lawsuit happen so darn fast? You haven't even had a chance to review the video to see if part of your lawsuit includes a video or not.
Because he had promised me 10 days that we were going to get...
Where's that in the contract?
This is all verbal.
Okay, can I just tell, did you promise him that you'd have an edited video in 10 days?
I called him up and told him that I needed more time for the edit, that the video guy needed more time. He knew we needed more time. I was not avoiding him. I answered all his texts, all his phone calls.
So you haven't seen the video is the bottom line. But you're suing for the full cost of the video back, but you don't know what's wrong with the video yet. So I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to finish looking at your pictures while you look at the video and tell me if you have a complaint about the video. So court is going to be in recess.
So when you hire a photographer, do you have the right to expect all this big professional camera equipment?
Yeah, I expect top-notch equipment.
I mean, does it have to be big equipment to be good pictures?
I mean, it could be like small equipment, but like still be good.
That's my question. So can it be small? And I mean, is it?
I mean, if it's expensive.
As long as it's up to the high-tech qualities that they expected.
So the size of the camera doesn't necessarily matter?
Not necessarily.
Okay, going inside the courtroom.
Okay, did you have a chance to see the video?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you have a complaint about the video?
Can you ask her?
Sure.
Well, figuring I'm the star of the night, the dance was kind of cut off. Like, you couldn't really see me. It was kind of scratchy, like flaky. Like the dancer team, when we were dancing, you could see like 2 by 2. It'd been better if you stand at an angle and get all 4 of us.
Okay, now, I want to show a little bit of this video. You tell me this didn't bring a smile to your face when you were watching all these memories?
It did.
Of course it did. Who is the lady in pink?
My grandmother.
Your grandma's a bomb. Is that you?
Yes.
Yes.
Can't touch this? Is that you?
Yeah, that's me.
You're the star, so I'm not going to pause right now. Who's the boy?
My cousin.
Your cousin?
Yeah.
Are you Hispanic?
Yes.
Yes. We are the only ones who do that, okay? No one else takes their cousin to a prom or two. All right. There's some shaking. Okay, I know what you're talking about the shaking. There is some shaking, all right? I'm going to say a couple things right now that I want you to understand. There is a saying in Spanish, dicen que recordar es volver a vivir. They say that to remember is to relive. So when it's all said and done and the quinces are over, it's like all that's left are the pictures and the memories, and the video is the one that evokes a memory. You did not pay $5,000 for your video and your pictures. You paid $600 for your video and your pictures. You chose a package that was economical, okay? There's some shaky, for sure. Like when you're running around the room, he's running around chasing you, that's a style. When he's standing still and it's shaking, I think he's actually dancing, because there's some dance scenes where it's going a little bit up and down, and I think he just couldn't help himself. I think he was kind of grooving. And so those could stand to not be there. But, you know, again, you paid $600 for your package, not, you know, what some people pay for. You're not going to have broadcast quality. Do I believe that you got what you paid for in the video? Absolutely. Now let us talk about the pictures. You understand that what you paid for was unedited raw footage. So what I did was I took 7 pictures that I thought had a lot of wall, a lot of extraneous, and somebody's butt and everything else, okay? And then I cropped them. That's all I did was I cropped them, I zoomed in.
Wow, beautiful.
It's doable, okay? And that's not one of the things you paid for. The one thing that I'm concerned about, and this is what I want you to address, is the number of pictures. Did the person use film and not digital?
It was all digital.
Because I have to tell you, my father just celebrated his 90th birthday. Do you know how glorious it was? All right? I have my point and shoot Nikon. And you know what I did with my point and shoot? I took like almost 360 pictures. Because when you take a picture, you take 2 or 3 to make sure that one of them, somebody's eyes are open. This person took 199 pictures, of which like 7 have to be discounted, not because they're blurry, but because they're pictures of the floor or pictures of the corner. I don't understand why, if they were paying for just the raw footage, there weren't like 300 and something. The person's there for hours and hours and hours. Why weren't there just more pictures?
The package that they got was only about to 200 pictures.
I don't know, because the package that they got doesn't say it anywhere in your contract. Was there ever a talk about how many pictures would be involved or no?
Yes, it was at the beginning. He said it would 3 hours. Be like maybe 300 to 400 pictures.
Okay, so according to you, he never said 200? See, this is why contracts...
He never said 200.
Yeah, but do you understand that the reason this is happening is because of your contract?
Yes.
I don't know why anybody would say, I'm only going to give you 200, I'm going to be there 3 hours. I was 3 hours at my father's party, I took 350. You're taking pictures, and I was enjoying the party. At the party in those 3 hours, I sat down, I drank, I danced, you know. So it's like silly to me that on a digital camera, that's why I thought that maybe you went back to film.
She did the best that she could.
Well, the best that she could wasn't good enough in a lot of respects if you're supposed to give her 200 pictures. All right, here's what I'm going to do. We're going to do what we call here what, Douglas?
A little rough justice.
A little rough justice. I'm not awarding you any emotional distress or harassment or whatever else, but I feel like if somebody pays to have somebody there 3 hours, there should be at least 200 pictures that are usable. There shouldn't be pictures that are so blurry they don't even count as pictures. So I am going to order $100 returned to the plaintiffs. And I'm going to tell you what you need to do with the $100. You're going to find somebody who will edit the pictures for you. You just get the pictures cropped and zoomed in. That is how you get this done into an album that you need. That's my judgment. Good luck, folks.
All right, well, here come the partiers. You got $100 in the award here. Stand next to your dad. What's your feeling on this outcome of this case now?
No, I wasn't happy with it because I also had other complaints, and then she didn't address those complaints.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're going to go ahead and edit those photos? She showed you what can be done and how they can be beautified.
I can try it, but...
Right? So listen, how was the party? Other than the pictures and everything, this doesn't take away from the party, right?
No, it was an awesome party.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sweet 16, okay. Head right down this way. All right, come on in here. And your feeling on your work here, you think it was satisfactory?
I think for the package that they received, my work was great. I would have helped him out with the photos, but he kept on calling me, harassing me, and I would have edited for him and try to make things right, but I'm very happy with my work.
Are you still willing to maybe offer to help him out a little bit?
Absolutely not.
No?
No.
Mm-hmm. All right. Harvey?
It's so important. I don't care what you're dealing with, whether it's a wedding, a bar mitzvah, a sweet 16, whatever. When you hire a photographer, be as specific as possible as to what the photographer is supposed to shoot, how many pictures, what they're supposed to do. The more specificity, the better. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
LinkedIn is pretty great at a lot of things, like helping you tap into the latest trends and insights in your field. We cannot stop your coworker from tapping her pencil. LinkedIn can help you find new jobs that align with your career goals. We cannot help you find the source of that weird smell in the office fridge. Ew. And while we can't stop your coworkers from bringing their hobbies into the office, LinkedIn can help you bring your career to the next level. LinkedIn is the network that works for you.
This is the plaintiff, Eric Anderson. He says he hired the defendant to refurbish a staircase at a residential building he had just purchased and needed to fix up. Turns out the defendant did the work all wrong. The building inspector chewed him out because no permits were filed, and now he's out a whole heap of money due to the defendant's ineptness. So he's suing him for $3,536.35, the amount he's due. This is the defendant, Lawrence Hogan. He says he's a licensed contractor who's been in the business for 35 plus years. The plaintiff was in charge of the whole project and basically just hired him as a day laborer. The plaintiff told him a permit wasn't required because he was only renovating what was already there. Bottom line, the plaintiff should have gotten the permit. He did what he was hired to do, and that's that. He's accused, making a mess of things. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $1,893.81 for unpaid labor and materials.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff hired the defendant to rehab his staircase, but the dude didn't get permits, and now the plaintiff says he's out of bundle. But the defendant says he did what he was hired to do. It's the case of stairway, but not to heaven.
Ives Anderson, LLC, represented by Eric Anderson. You're Eric? Okay. You are suing Lawrence Hogan, LLC, represented by Mr. Hogan, Lawrence Hogan, for $3,536.35 in damages that you say you are out as a result of shoddy workmanship by Mr. Hogan. You are counterclaiming against him $1,893.81 in unpaid fees for the job. Tell me what's going on.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I hired the defendant to perform some porch repairs on an old home I had just bought. And
was it an apartment building or an old home?
It's a multifamily converted from a 1850s single family.
1850s?
Yeah.
Wow, can I see it? Do you have a picture?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I love it. Should I give you the whole?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my whole pack of evidence, actually.
Okay. All right, let me just see the picture. Okay.
And that's the back, actually, which is where the porch was being worked on. The front looks much better.
Do you have a picture of the front?
I'm sorry, no.
Okay, all right, so go on.
The scope of the work was to construct brand new 2 sets of steps and also shore up a couple of sagging porches that those steps are built up to.
Okay.
After getting into it, the defendant then told me that some concrete work would be needed. Thinking he was the expert, I agreed, and later found out when the building official stopped by that all of the concrete work would have to be taken out because it didn't go down 42 inches deep into the ground.
Back it up.
Okay.
You want to do work on it. The work you need to do is to,
was just to rebuild the rotted wooden steps and also to shore up the sag in the porch.
Okay. And so had you agreed upon a price and now the price was more expensive?
We had agreed that I could afford 5 days at $700 a day.
Did he say to you, once he talked to you about concrete being used to shore it up, did it become more expensive or no?
Well, it wasn't discussed. It was originally that 5 days was going to get me what I wanted.
Okay.
99%.
So he tells you, I think we should do it this way.
Right. And then we didn't discuss the schedule at that point.
Okay.
I was just hoping.
Did anybody pull a permit?
No.
No. You didn't pull a permit, he didn't pull a permit. Do you have anything in writing with him?
His invoice, and he signed.
Give me anything he wrote.
Okay, so there is a concrete delivery invoice that he signed, even though I paid for it.
I guess everybody thought that because it was in the backyard, you weren't going to get caught, or what?
It was new, it was new to me. I didn't have any contractor experience to speak of. This building, I had just purchased it.
So neither of you ever before the job discussed permitting or no permitting?
No. I never brought it up. He never brought it up.
Yeah? What's your version on that?
That's not true, Your Honor. At
What
the
was
time
the-
that I went there and I priced the job out and we agreed that he had a certain amount of money that he was going to pay, he could afford to pay me for 5 days. I said to him, you got a permit on this? I said, because I know you're working in the back. He has another building behind this that he's working on that I figured for sure he had a permit on. And I asked him, he said, no, I don't have a permit on it. I'm doing it all myself. And I
Well,
said,
what
do
does
you
I'm
want to
doing
get
it
a
on
permit
myself
on
have
this
to do
one? He
with getting a
said,
permit? Even if you do it yourself, you got to get a permit. Are you a licensed contractor?
yes, I am.
So then you know that.
Right, but I'm working for him. He hired me to work by the hour. He's there every day giving me jurisdiction every morning.
I don't know what you're
Every
talking about. He
day
doesn't give you jurisdiction. You know you need a permit. You're kind of an accomplice. Why are
I
you
don't need
pretending
the
that you're
permit,
just
Your
following
Honor. He
orders?
need-
Like I'm just following orders. What is that?
No, he needs the permit. He hired me to do this work for
Yeah, and
him.
you're doing unpermitted work. You just confessed to knowing that you're doing unpermitted work and you're a licensed contractor.
I don't agree with that because anybody could hire me to do something in their house, and if it
Yeah,
turns
and
out...
you can pretend to have no knowledge of whether they've pulled a permit, but you can't because you just admitted to me that you knew he didn't pull a permit, and then you proceeded to
He
work.
said
Now
he
let's talk
didn't.
about the quality of the work itself, permit or no permit. An inspector comes by. Do you get cited?
I wasn't there. He left a business card.
So you call him.
I called him, and he chews me out, and he says I got to come in and talk to him.
So you go down to see him.
And he says, is this concrete work down 42 inches at least? And I said, I don't know. I honestly wasn't sure. So I dug it up. I called him back. I said, nope, it's not. He said, it all has to come out.
What's that about?
When it turned out that this had been built on piles of rock with a little bit of concrete on the top of it with a cedar post holding this porch up. All those had been rotted away. We went and got Eric. He looked at it all. He said, what are we going to do? I said, we can dig these down. He goes, I don't want you to keep digging all this stuff because I don't have money for this.
Do you know that it's supposed to be 42 inches deep and you're saying that you didn't make it according to code because the homeowner made you not make it according to code?
Yes. He supervised
How far do you think that's going to go?
Well, because he's the one that told me to pour it that way.
You're telling me that he told you how many inches to pour?
Yep, he said that's far enough. You don't have to go any further. We hit some big rocks on the bottom.
Did you tell him how far?
That's a complete and utter fabrication. That is an outright lie. After he initially poured, I went out there, and even in my limited knowledge, I knew it should be deeper than 20 or 24 inches. And I complained about it, and he called for double pouring more on top of the first pour with a second load of concrete, but then like building up the earth around it.
Did double pouring happen? Did you bring out another?
Yes, it was a double pour.
Okay, but that doesn't happen as a result of his complaint? Why would double pouring happen?
No, that was his suggestion to do the double pour, and he was
so he is complaining about how deep you went.
Yeah.
How are you going to look me in the eye and tell me that the decision of how deep you went was his? He complained about it, forcing you to get a second pour.
Your Honor, he's complaining because he got caught. He was planning on taking no permits out on this because he didn't want to get involved in it.
You know what? Even if he got caught, if you had poured it right, there wouldn't be a problem. All that would have to happen is he'd have to apply for a permit. He'd have to pay for a permit. He wouldn't have to pay to excavate, get an engineer's report, all the concrete delivery. All this wouldn't be happening if you had done it right. All you had to do, if you were all going to fly by the seat of your pants and not get a permit, is do it right anyway, in case you got caught.
He had no money to pay for it.
The one guy with the license who should know what the building code says went, it's deep enough. And then you admit that he says to you, this isn't deep enough, and that you have to go, but you look me in the eye and say, he decided that it was deep enough both times. Really? Why did he tell you to bring another truck?
So if you hire a licensed contractor and tell him do the work without permits, and he's licensed, can he legally do that work?
No. It's his job to know the law and the rules, and he needs to pull the permit.
What do you think?
I have no.
You don't know. Who's going to get the last word here?
Cool.
What if he's a friend? What if it's just like a favor?
Yeah, but what if he's like a contractor and he's licensed?
Oh, then.
Oh yeah, dude. Going inside the courtroom.
Where do you get your numbers from?
Okay, I have invoices and proof of payment for the excavation to remove all the stuff, the cost of the concrete that the defendant directed me to order, and then the invoice from the structural engineers that came out.
Did you ever pay him or you didn't pay him?
Yes, I paid him for the first 3 days, but then he asked the concrete guy to dump some concrete in our backyard, which I didn't appreciate, and it just set me off.
This is
and I
before
fired
or
him.
after the inspector comes up on?
Before the inspector came.
Before the inspector comes on. So you fired him before the inspector came out?
For dumping stuff in my backyard and knowing that things were not deep enough and knowing that things were not being done right.
Did you end up getting in trouble for not pulling, like, did they make you pull a permit?
Yes.
Did you pull a permit?
Yes.
What did the permit cost you?
Several $100s.
Several $100.
Yeah.
Instead of $3,500, right?
Right.
Lo barato sale caro, as my grandmother used to tell me. The cheap comes out expensive.
Yeah.
Because what happens when you pull a permit is that the city is on top of your contractor. And the city makes sure that it's being done according to code, okay? Which means it's going to withstand everything that it needs to withstand and that they're not going to make you rip it apart.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So give me the estimate for the excavation. Now, what's the engineer's report about? It's $600 for an engineer's report.
Well, because the inspector wasn't under any obligation to issue a document about the defendant's work.
So instead of you getting something from him, you paid an engineer to prove that he didn't pour it deep enough.
That's all there is to it, right?
And tell me about your counterclaim.
And my counterclaim is from materials that he was supposed to get for me and sent me out just before the concrete truck had come for the last pour, that he wanted rebar in. So we had to run to Home Depot and buy that. He never paid me back for that.
How much did you collect for this job?
He gave me one check for $2,100.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay.
That's 3 days' pay.
Yep. Which you are not suing for. He's not suing you for that. He's suing you for excavation. I find that he's entitled to it. I think you're the professional and you need to be responsible for doing it. Even if you guys are all trying to fly by night and under the radar, you still have to do it according to code. And I'm not going to listen to, oh, the homeowner who's never done this before is calling the shots on how deep it has to be. I also, by the way, don't believe it. I know he's complaining about how you're doing it while you're doing it. All right? So I'm going to order you to pay the $1,800. I'm going to order you to pay the $603.54 and the $532.81, which is money that he spent on concrete that is all going to have to be ripped out now. I am not going to order you to pay the $600 for the engineer's report because I frankly got this sneaking suspicion that you kind of talked the guy out of citing you, all right? So I find in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $2,936.35. And in case it wasn't obvious from what I'm saying on your counterclaim, 0.
See what the defendant has to say coming out here. Seems like you should have known better than to do the job this way, with all the experience
Well, I have
you
35 years, and, we do know that you need permits, but when the man is telling you he doesn't want us to put any more money into this and only stop here.
So you do whatever he says?
Yes. Yeah, in that particular case,
For money,
I do.
you do whatever he says, in that case.
No, that's not true. Not for money, you do anything that he does. We were there to restore it. It turned out there was no things, and he says, I don't have any
Now,
more
let's say
money.
the same thing happens again, and the guy tells you to do something next time.
It won't happen again.
Right, you won't do it that way again.
Yeah, that
so
we
you
won't
shouldn't
do
have
it
done
that
it the
way.
first time.
That's right.
All right, head right down this way. All right, come on in here. All right, so you do collect here, but, ignorance is usually no excuse for a case.
The decision was very fair. I learned a valuable lesson.
Which was?
Pull a permit.
Pull a permit, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Harvey?
There are a lot of states that have something called a state contractors licensing board. And that means that a licensed contractor has to put up a bond before doing work. And they also have mediation services, a number of them, where they can mediate disputes with fees. You should check your state to see if they have one. You can do that short of going to court.